Hey, what's up everybody? Scappo here. Okay, so this is a huge experiment on my part. um, First of all, let me apologize for the horrendous video quality you're looking at. I actually recorded this video using Open Broadcaster, which was not the best choice, if I might be honest. Next time, I promise the video will be much clearer and better, and I'm also going to try not to spin quite so much. Yeah, just looking at the video, I never realized how much I actually rotate the image and zoom in and zoom out, but it is a little bit vertigo inducing, or yeah, it's weird. So if you're looking at this and it seems a little bit weird, or if you're feeling ill or whatever looking at it, I apologize. Go ahead, put this in the background and just listen to the sultry tones of my voice. Anyway, so this is gonna be hopefully the first in a series of vlogs in which I just kind of take you through, my plans for the future of both the Waystone project and my Patreon in general. So these are limited to about 10 to 12 minutes because of YouTube's upload restrictions. So I'm going to go ahead and just get into it. So let's see. I had I had asked you guys to pose some questions to me about the Patreon and Waystone in general. I've got 4 so far. Hopefully that will increase eventually as we kind of get into the story of Skin Deep, the cover for which is what you're looking at. As you can see, I kind of started this recording pretty far into the image, like, the sketch and the background and all that have already been, kind of hammered out, and at this point I'm just finishing. That's because I usually take a really long time in the sketch phase, and I didn't want to subject you guys to that. Anyway, so back to the questions that people asked me so far. I'm going to answer 2 in this video and 2 in the next video. So the first question I'm going to answer was why a Puma with headphones? And you know what? I completely neglected to memorize the name of the person who asked. It was Tal Maxim. Tal Maxim asked, why a Puma with headphones? There's a little bit of a story. I'll try to get through it quick. Back in the day, I'd say at least 5 years ago, I was in New York, just chilling out on Jen Singh's couch, Spunky Wolf. That's when she was a whole lot more active in the fandom, and we were kind of just trying to figure out, what animal suited me best. And the way I was lounging on her couch, I guess it made her think of a cat, like the way a cat lounges. So she's like, you remind me of a cat. You're not really a dog, you're not really a canine or anything like that, but you do tend to lounge like a big cat. But you're not a domesticated house cat, you're something exotic. So, back then we just, we decided, oh hey, a mountain lion, like a cougar, that would be best. Because I'm not really a lion, like, I'm not aggressive or, kind of domineering like a lion, but I am a little bit of a loner. Yeah, so that's why we chose a Puma. Now, why the headphones? Another short story. A few years ago, I was in Atlanta with Bonk. He lives in Atlanta, and we were in a Best Buy, I think. And he was like, hey, Scappo, come over here real quick. I just want to show you something. And he took me over to a Beats, a Beats stand where they had a ton of Beats headphones, and he was like, have a listen to this. And back then, like, I had no idea, like, what made a good headphone, what good sound even was. And I put these things on my head, and I was just astonished by, the sound. And I was like, oh man, this sounds amazing. It's so clear and awesome. I gotta get me some of these. And so I eventually bought some, and about a year later, the damn things broke. Yeah, the part on the junction of the driver and the actual headband, that snapped, and so I eventually got another pair because I liked them so much, and then that pair broke as well a year later, and that kind of got me thinking, okay, what makes a good headphone? Like, Beats can't be the only headphone that sounds this good. I need to find a pair of headphones that's not gonna break within a year's time that also sounds awesome. And so that's what made me start thinking, okay, I need to start learning more about headphones. And that's when I really kind of started getting into the headphone scene, and like just trying to understand who makes good headphones, who makes bad headphones, how can I tell the difference. And eventually I came to really, really dislike Beats once I started hearing some reference level headphones. I had some Audio Technicas back in the day that I bought, and they were much clearer and nicer than the Beats, I found. And it kept going, and I kept, just getting more and more and more experience with the headphones. So yeah, that's why Headphone Puma, because I really love headphones, and I love the fact that not every headphone will deliver the same sound. They're like light bulbs. Like, no single light bulb can cross all of the spectrums, and neither can any single headphone cross all sound spectrums. It's the same thing. So it's fascinating, and I could go into it, but I'm not going to, because this video is going to end in a few minutes. So let's see. The other question is, why a Puma with... No. Sorry, I just misread. Can you tell this is my first video? So no, the second question is, what is the source for all the Jinn in the realm, and how did the tech advance so far? That was asked by Ghostbane. Take a sip of my whiskey there. Yes, I am sipping whiskey. This is a toughie, because it's all a little bit nebulous, and it's in my head. The original kind of lore behind the Jinn is that when the god of this world, if you will, created it, he's not like he's not like the Christian god, who kind of hangs around and kind of observes kind of the direction of his creations. He kind of creates, and then he's gotten his kicks out of creating, and then he leaves. He's a watchmaker god. So he left, and he left the guardians, or what the inhabitants of the world know as gods, behind to watch over them and just make sure they don't kill themselves. Now, any kind of creative process, will leave behind some kind of exhaust, right? So the Jinn are kind of what was left over after the world itself was created. They're kind of like exhaust fumes, and that's why they have command over the ether, if you will. So they don't breed like mortals, and they're not gods, but they do have powers that neither mortals nor gods have. They're similar to the gods, or the guardians anyway, but not quite the same. And they live on a different plane than we do, obviously, or mortals do. And how they actually make their way into this plane, I haven't actually nailed down yet. I'm going to be perfectly honest. How did the tech advance so far? Well, the mortals found out that Genie are basically they're engines. You can harness their power, with the correct technology, and you can use them kind of like batteries or like generators. And with the assistance of that knowledge, they kind of bent the jinn to their will. Now, why the jinn obey the mortals, now that's a relatively long story, and I could get into it, but I'd really like to wrap up this first part. So hopefully in part 2, we're gonna go ahead and cover my plans for the year, and hopefully I'll be able to actually talk about what's going on screen. Again, if you've actually watched what has gone on the screen, congratulations, because even I'm sitting here kind of watching it. Like I recorded it, and then and now I'm just talking while I'm looking at it, and boy, is it hard to watch. So I do apologize if your eyes hurt or if your brain hurts, and if not, then yay, let me know in the comments. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. And if you like this and would like to see more, I guess this is the place where I ask you to subscribe and like and all that great stuff if you want. I'm probably going to keep doing these anyway, just because it's handier to sit here and talk at you than it is for me to type at you. So yeah, that's it for part 1, and we will see you in part 2, guys. See you later.